5 forbidden places around the world scientists still can't explain. Hello, and welcome to the Discovery Fact Channel. Dear friends, have you ever wondered that in an age when satellites can capture images of nearly every corner of the Earth, airplanes can fly to almost every country, and humans have already set foot on the moon, are there still places that we are absolutely forbidden from entering? It may sound like the plot of an adventure movie, but the truth is that there are still places around the world that are protected so strictly that if you cross the boundary, you could be arrested, deported, or even face life-threatening danger. Even more fascinating is that not every restricted location is closed off because of military or security reasons. Some islands are forbidden because they are home to mysterious tribes that have never integrated with the modern world. Some areas are sealed off because of deadly creatures, and there are also places where scientists themselves are still struggling to find answers to mysteries that have existed for decades, centuries, or even thousands of years. So what is truly hidden behind those locked gates? Are these restrictions simply meant to protect people? Or are there deeper truths that we are not yet able to fully understand and explain? If you share the same overwhelming curiosity that I feel right now, then get ready, because in today's video, we are going to explore 5 forbidden places around the world that science still has many unanswered questions about. It is very possible that after watching this video, you will completely change the way you see these mysterious lands that seem like they only exist in legends. So, are you ready? If you are, then let's begin right now. North Sentinel Island, India, home to a mysterious tribe that rejects the modern world. In the vast waters of the Bay of Bengal lies a small island that, at first glance, looks no different from any other tropical paradise. Dense forests cover the land from the shoreline all the way to the center of the island. The surrounding waters are crystal clear, and the entire place remains completely isolated from the outside world. But do not let that peaceful appearance fool you. This is North Sentinel Island, one of the most strictly forbidden places on Earth. If someone were to ask you today whether there is still a place on our planet that has barely ever entered the modern age, the answer would be this island. What makes North Sentinel truly unique is not its landscape, but the people who call it home. The Sentinelese, a mysterious tribe believed to have lived in complete isolation for tens of thousands of years. Throughout that immense period of time, they have remained almost entirely disconnected from the outside world. They do not use modern technology and continue to maintain a traditional hunter-gatherer lifestyle. Even modern researchers know very little about them. We do not know exactly which language family their language belongs to, we do not know their actual population size, and we cannot confirm precisely how long they have continuously lived on the island. The reason is surprisingly simple. Almost no one has ever been able to get close enough to study them. Whenever boats or helicopters appear too close to the shoreline, the Sentinelese usually respond immediately by raising their bows and arrows as a warning. In many cases, they have fired directly at those who attempted to come closer. It is this determined resistance that has forced all attempts at contact to come to an end. Many people may wonder, why doesn't the government try to communicate with them or provide assistance? The answer lies in the vulnerability of this isolated tribe. Because they have lived separately from the rest of humanity for such a long time, their immune systems may not be able to withstand many diseases that are common among the rest of the world. Even a single person carrying an ordinary flu virus could potentially have devastating consequences for the entire community. For this reason, the Indian government has established a strict restricted zone around the island, banning all boats and tourists from approaching in order to protect both the Sentinelese people and outsiders. There have been attempts by research groups to leave gifts such as coconuts and basic supplies in hopes of creating a peaceful connection. On some occasions, the Sentinelese accepted these offerings. However, there have also been many times when they responded with arrows, making it clear that they want to live according to their own way of life. The most shocking incident occurred in 2018, when an American missionary deliberately attempted to land on the island in an effort to make contact and spread his religion. Just hours after reaching the shore, he was attacked and killed by the Sentinelese. The incident once again reminded the world that this island is not a destination for curiosity or adventure. To this day, what troubles scientists is not the desire to conquer or explore the island, but rather the challenge of respecting the existence of a community that has chosen to remain separate from the modern world. Perhaps sometimes the greatest answer science can provide is not trying to uncover every mystery, but knowing when it is time to stop. Now, let's leave behind a place where humans are kept away in order to protect an ancient and untouched culture. Our next destination is forbidden for a completely different reason. There, the rulers are not humans, but thousands of snakes carrying some of the most dangerous venom on the planet. Yes, that place is Snake Island, Brazil, the island where every step could cost you your life. If in the previous part we visited an island where humans are rejected by the native inhabitants themselves, then this time, our destination is even more terrifying in a completely different way. A lush green island in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. The gentle sea breeze blows through the air, waves softly crash against the shore, and the scenery seems like the perfect setting for an unforgettable adventure. But take just a few more steps, and you might discover a snake coiled up on a tree branch. Look down at the base of the tree, and there is another one. Move a little farther beneath the thick bushes, and dozens of pairs of eyes are silently watching every movement you make. This is Ilha de Queimada Grande, a place known around the world by a much simpler name, Snake Island. The island is located about 22 miles off the coast of São Paulo State, Brazil. With an area of just over 100 acres, it is not a particularly large island, but it is considered one of the most dangerous places on Earth for humans. It is so dangerous that the Brazilian government banned tourists from setting foot on the island many years ago. Even scientists are only allowed to conduct research there with special permission and must follow extremely strict safety regulations. So, what exactly makes such a small island become completely restricted? The answer lies in the golden lancehead viper. This is an endemic species, meaning it naturally exists only on this island and can be found nowhere else in the world. Unlike many other snakes that typically hunt rodents, the golden lancehead viper mainly preys on migratory birds. Since its prey can fly away at any moment, this snake has evolved an extremely powerful venom that allows it to kill its target almost instantly before it has a chance to escape. According to numerous studies, the venom of this species can rapidly damage tissue, cause internal bleeding, and severely affect vital organs in the body. Because of this, it is considered one of the most dangerously venomous snakes in South America. You may have heard the claim that on Snake Island, there is a snake for every square meter. In reality, this number is often exaggerated in sensational articles. Scientific surveys show that the snake population density on the island is indeed extremely high compared to many other locations, but it is not literally packed with snakes everywhere. However, even so, the fact that thousands of these venomous snakes live together on such a small piece of land is already enough to turn this place into somewhere that almost nobody would dare to enter, right? What particularly fascinates biologists is the way this snake species evolved. Thousands of years ago, as sea levels rose, the land bridge connecting the island to the mainland was submerged. The snakes that remained on the island became completely isolated and began adapting to their new environment. With no mammals left to hunt, they shifted their diet toward birds and gradually developed a more powerful and effective venom to match their new source of food. This is a classic example of evolution being shaped by environmental conditions. That long period of isolation created a unique animal population unlike almost anywhere else on Earth. Besides the snakes, there are almost no permanent human residents on the island. The lighthouse was once operated by a lighthouse keeper, but today it has been fully automated to prevent people from having to regularly travel there for work. This has also helped reduce the risks associated with approaching the island. Of course, Snake Island has also inspired many mysterious and dramatic stories. Some people claim that an entire lighthouse keeper's family died after snakes entered their home. However, these stories have not been confirmed by reliable historical records and are generally considered local legends rather than verified events. What is certain is that the danger of the island has been recognized by scientists and the Brazilian government, which is why it remains on the list of restricted access areas to this day. If Snake Island is sealed off because of a visible threat that we can see with our own eyes, then the next destination has sparked global debate for decades. Located in the vast Nevada desert, this place is protected by fences, sensors, and countless layers of strict security. Some believe that what lies inside is simply a facility for testing highly classified military aircraft. but others are convinced that it hides technology far beyond humanity's current understanding. Welcome to Area 51, America's most mysterious location. Leaving behind the island where nature created one of the most dangerous snake species on the planet, we will now enter a place where even getting too close could cause you to be immediately stopped by security forces. There are no warning signs about venomous snakes, and no isolated tribe guarding the area. Instead, there are barbed wire fences, surveillance cameras, advanced sensors, and strict warning signs stating, "No trespassing." This is Area 51, a name that has become a symbol of some of the greatest mysteries in modern history. Just mentioning this place is enough to make many people immediately think of flying saucers, aliens, or technologies far beyond human imagination. But is the truth really as mysterious as the stories often portrayed in Hollywood movies? Area 51 is located in the middle of the Nevada desert, about 80 miles northwest of Las Vegas. If viewed from satellite images, it appears to be nothing more than a military facility surrounded by a barren landscape. However, what has fascinated the entire world is not its location, but its extraordinary level of secrecy. For decades, the US government did not even officially acknowledge the existence of Area 51. It was not until 2013, when declassified documents were released, that the Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, confirmed that the base truly existed and had been used to test highly classified reconnaissance aircraft such as the U-2 and A-12 Oxcart. This information answered part of the question that the world had been asking for years. However, it also unintentionally created even more mysteries. Since the 1950s, many residents living around Nevada have reported seeing strange-shaped objects in the sky, moving at extremely high speeds or changing direction almost instantly. At that time, the publicly known aviation technology of the world was not capable of such movements. This led many people to believe they were witnessing extraterrestrial spacecraft. In reality, according to many aviation experts, most of these sightings can likely be explained by the fact that Area 51 was a testing ground for highly classified military aircraft. Aircraft such as the U-2 and later the F-117 Nighthawk featured designs that looked completely different from ordinary planes of that era. When people accidentally saw these aircraft flying at night or at extremely high altitudes, mistaking them for unidentified flying objects was completely understandable. However, the fact that almost all information about the base was kept secret only made human curiosity grow even stronger. Just imagine, if a place is always heavily restricted and nobody knows what is happening inside, then even a strange light appearing in the sky can be enough to create dozens of different theories. That is why Area 51 became the center of countless famous stories. Some people believe the US military is hiding the remains of extraterrestrial beings recovered after the Roswell incident in 1947. Others believe that the facility is researching anti-gravity technology, advanced propulsion systems, or even methods of time travel. These ideas may sound fascinating, but so far there is no reliable scientific evidence confirming any of these theories. Most of them come from eyewitness accounts, conspiracy theory books, or science fiction movies. However, that does not mean Area 51 is no longer interesting. On the contrary, the true military role of this facility is what makes it remarkable. During the Cold War, the United States needed a completely isolated location to develop highly classified aviation technologies without being monitored by foreign satellites or spies. The vast Nevada desert, with its enormous open landscape, dry climate, and extremely low population density, became the perfect choice. To this day, the area surrounding the base remains under extremely strict control. The airspace above it is completely restricted, and all roads leading toward the facility are continuously monitored by security forces. Anyone who deliberately crosses the boundaries could be detained or face legal consequences. So if we call this one of the most intimidating forbidden locations in the world, that would probably not be an exaggeration, would it? Vozrozhdeniya Island, the island that once hid some of the most dangerous biological experiments of the Cold War. If the previous locations fascinated us with stories about mysterious tribes, dangerous creatures, or highly classified military facilities, then our next destination carries a completely different atmosphere. This is not a place surrounded by legends of aliens, nor is it an island covered in ghost stories. What makes this place truly frightening is not a supernatural mystery, but what humans once did there. An island that once existed in the middle of one of the largest bodies of water in the world. A place that once had laboratories, houses, roads, and people who worked there every day. But after only a few decades, everything disappeared. Abandoned buildings stood alone in the middle of the desert. Roads were left without a single footprint, and beneath that dry, cracked land once existed secrets that humans themselves wanted to forget. This is Vozrojdeniya Island, a place that captured the attention of scientists and military officials for many years. Today, when people mention Vozrojdeniya, many refer to it by a much more frightening name, the Island of Death. However, this name does not come from a curse or any supernatural phenomenon. Instead, it comes from a very real past during one of the most tense periods in modern history, the Cold War. The island was once located in the Aral Sea, a massive body of water situated between Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan. But the Aral Sea no longer looks the way it once did. Due to large-scale water diversion projects during the 20th century, the size of the Aral Sea dramatically decreased, causing many areas that were once islands to become connected to the mainland. And this major geographical transformation eventually revealed a place that had once been considered an absolute secret. During the Soviet era, Vozrojdeniya Island was selected as the location for a secret military research facility known as Aralsk 7. Here, scientists were believed to have conducted research related to biological weapons, including experiments involving dangerous microorganisms. One of the names that caused the greatest concern was anthrax, a disease caused by the bacterium Bacillus anthracis. The frightening aspect of this bacterium lies in its ability to form spores that can survive in the environment for extremely long periods under suitable conditions. Of course, it is important to clarify that the stories surrounding Vozrojdeniya over the years have been surrounded by many rumors and speculation. Some reports on the internet have described the island as a biological time bomb waiting to explode. However, experts believe that the reality is far more complicated. After the collapse of the Soviet Union, many programs were reviewed and cleanup operations were carried out to reduce potential risks. Even so, the island's history continues to make many people uneasy. Because just imagine, a place that was once used to study dangerous biological agents, then abandoned in a dry and isolated landscape for decades. What could still remain beneath the layers of sand? What traces have yet to be discovered? That is exactly why Vozrojdeniya became one of the most controversial locations in the history of secret military sites. One of the events that drew global attention occurred during the 1970s when a leak connected to Soviet biological weapons activities caused many people to question the safety of such programs. Although this incident did not happen directly on Vozrojdeniya Island, it raised concerns that Cold War-era biological research facilities could leave behind long-term consequences. After military activities ended, Vozrojdeniya Island gradually became a forgotten piece of land. Old houses, laboratories, and abandoned structures remained scattered across the empty landscape. There were no longer sounds of machinery, no military vehicles moving across the roads, only desert winds blowing through the ruins of a once highly secretive and tense era. The most thought-provoking aspect of this place is not the scariest stories surrounding it, but the much bigger question it raises: how far can humans go in creating powerful and dangerous technologies? And can we always control the things we create? Vozrojdeniya serves as a reminder that science does not only bring humanity incredible progress, but it also comes with enormous responsibility. Today, the island is no longer a secret research center like it once was. However, the image of a place that was once erased from maps, once held military secrets, and now contains nothing but abandoned ruins continues to make Vozrojdeniya one of the most mysterious locations in the world. Lascaux Cave, the 17,000-year-old secret hidden inside ancient paintings that humanity is no longer allowed to see directly. After leaving behind islands once covered by military secrets and stories of dangerous experiments, our journey this time will take you back tens of thousands of years into the past. But what makes this place truly special is that we do not need a time machine, nor do we need any science fiction theories. Because right in the heart of France lies a place that once preserved some of the most authentic traces of prehistoric human life. A world hidden deep underground, where sunlight had not touched the walls for thousands of years. Yet on the cold stone surfaces appeared vivid paintings so extraordinary that they left many researchers amazed. This is Lascaux Cave, one of the most important archaeological treasures ever discovered by humanity. Today, if you want to step inside the real Lascaux Cave, the answer is simple: you cannot. The entrance to the cave has been closed to most of the public for many decades. Not because the cave contains a deadly danger and not because it hides any military secrets. The reason is much simpler, yet incredibly important. Humans themselves unintentionally threaten the survival of some of the oldest works of art in the world. So, what makes a small cave in the Dordogne region of southwestern France so extraordinary? To find the answer, we must travel back in time to 1940, when a group of local teenagers accidentally discovered the entrance to a hidden cave. At first, they believed it was nothing more than an ordinary rock cave, but when they ventured deeper inside with only simple lamps in their hands, they witnessed a scene that no one could have imagined. Across the stone walls were thousands of drawings of animals such as wild cattle, horses, deer, lions, and many other creatures. These paintings were far from simple, as many people might expect from prehistoric art. Instead, they revealed an astonishing level of observation, visual thinking, and sophisticated use of color. Scientists estimate that many of the paintings inside Lascaux Cave are more than 17,000 years old, dating back to the Paleolithic period. What surprised researchers most was that the humans who created these artworks had no modern tools, no paper, no artificial pigments, and no electric lighting. Yet they were still able to produce works with an incredible sense of depth and artistic skill. Some images even used the natural shape of the cave walls to create the illusion of movement. The curves of the rock were transformed into the backs of animals, while natural cracks became details on their bodies. This shows that prehistoric humans were not simply copying what they saw. They possessed the ability to observe, imagine, and create art. However, the greatest mystery of Lascaux Cave is not how beautiful these paintings are. Instead, it lies in a much deeper question. Why did prehistoric humans spend so much effort creating them? This remains one of the questions that still does not have a completely clear answer. Some researchers believe the paintings may have been connected to hunting rituals, where ancient humans believed that drawing animals could bring good fortune or help them gain control over the hunt. Other theories suggest that these images may have served as a form of symbolic language, allowing ancient people to communicate stories, knowledge, or beliefs through visual representations. Some archaeologists even believe the cave may have functioned as a spiritual space, similar to a place of worship or ritual activity. However, all of these theories remain debated because we have no written records from prehistoric humans explaining the true meaning behind these mysterious drawings. But unfortunately, just a few years after its discovery, the fame of Lascaux Cave itself became a threat to its existence. When the cave was opened to visitors in 1948, thousands of people began arriving every day to witness these ancient masterpieces with their own eyes. However, human breath, body heat, artificial lighting, and changes in the cave's internal environment created serious consequences. Scientists discovered that mold and microorganisms had begun growing on the stone surfaces. Some areas of the paintings were affected, colors gradually changed, and the risk of losing these priceless artworks after thousands of years became more serious than ever. Finally, in 1963, the French government decided to close the original Lascaux Cave to tourists in order to protect this priceless heritage site. It was a decision that disappointed many people because millions of visitors wanted the chance to see the original paintings with their own eyes. However, instead of completely taking away the opportunity for people to experience this wonder, France created highly accurate replicas of the cave, allowing visitors to admire its beauty without causing further damage to the original site. So, we have just explored some of the most mysterious and restricted access places in the world, from isolated islands and highly classified military bases to ancient historical sites that humanity is determined to protect. Each of these places holds its own unique story, reminding us that our planet still contains countless mysteries waiting to be discovered. If you enjoy journeys into historical mysteries and strange places around the world, don't forget to follow our channel so we can continue exploring more fascinating stories together. Be sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell next to the subscribe button so you never miss our upcoming discoveries. And now, goodbye, and see you again in the next adventure.